Every man at some point in his life will face a defining moment, the decision of whether to walk away from a woman he once deeply valued. It's never an easy choice. Emotions run high, clouding judgment with frustration, disappointment, and even heartbreak. But as a man committed to strength and wisdom, you cannot allow emotions to lead you astray. True power comes not from reacting impulsively, but from making decisions with clarity and self-respect. Modern society presents men with two flawed choices: either chase endlessly in the hope of rekindling something lost, or shut down emotionally, becoming cold and indifferent. But neither of these paths leads to real growth. A man who is ruled by his emotions will find himself lost, while one who suppresses them entirely will miss the lessons that pain is meant to teach. The key is mastery, not avoidance or indulgence, but understanding your emotions so they serve you rather than control you. Before you decide to walk away, there are 4 essential steps you must take. These aren't just actions, they are guiding principles that separate men who act with wisdom from those who make hasty choices they later regret. Skip them, and you may carry uncertainty with you long after she's gone, but if you follow them, you will walk away with confidence, knowing that your decision was made with strength, logic, and self-respect. Before we jump in, I have a quick request. If you're committed to mastering your emotions and becoming the best version of yourself, show your support by hitting that like button. It helps this channel reach more men who need these powerful lessons. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video that could transform your life. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned about relationships? Trust me, your experience could inspire someone else. By the end of this, you won't just have an answer, you'll have clarity, confidence, and a deeper understanding of yourself. Let's uncover the 4 most important things every Stoic man must do before deciding to walk away. 1. Master your emotions before making a decision. One of the greatest pitfalls a man can fall into is making a life-changing decision while consumed by emotion. When anger, frustration, or disappointment take over, they distort your judgment, making you react impulsively rather than strategically. Many men have walked away from relationships in the heat of the moment, only to look back with regret, realizing they never truly understood the situation. The Stoic mindset: clarity over emotion. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A Stoic man understands that emotions are natural, but acting on them without control is a weakness. Instead of reacting impulsively, he takes a step back, detaches from the storm of feelings, and looks at the situation with absolute clarity. Think of a seasoned warrior in battle. If he lets rage dictate his moves, he rushes in blindly and gets cut down. But if he remains composed, reading the battlefield and making calculated choices, he turns the tide in his favor. Relationships are no different. The man who masters his emotions controls his destiny. The one who reacts without thinking hands his fate to chance. A painful lesson in acting too soon. David had been in a relationship with Sarah for 2 years. Lately, she had seemed distant, less affectionate, less engaged. His frustration built up until one night, in a moment of anger, he confronted her. "You don't care anymore. I'm done." He expected her to protest, to fight for their relationship. But instead, she calmly replied, "Okay." That single word hit him harder than he expected. Days later, after the emotions had settled, David realized something. He had never actually asked Sarah what was wrong. He had been so caught up in his own feelings that he never considered she might be struggling with battles of her own. By the time he understood, it was too late. she had already moved on. The power of self-control. Had David taken the time to separate emotion from logic, he might have handled things differently. He would have approached the situation with curiosity instead of accusation, strength instead of insecurity. This is the difference between a man who controls his emotions and a man who is controlled by them. Before making the decision to walk away, take a step back and analyze the situation as if you were an outsider looking in. Write down the genuine reasons that are making you consider leaving. Are they rooted in fleeting emotions, or is this truly the best course of action for your well-being? If your judgment feels clouded by frustration or pain, give yourself time. True clarity isn't found in the heat of the moment. It comes with patience, reflection, and a clear mind. 2. Communicate with wisdom and clarity. A strong man does not walk away based on assumptions. He seeks the truth. Many relationships don't fail because of betrayal or irreconcilable differences, but rather due to unspoken frustrations, misunderstandings, and poor communication. The ability to approach a difficult conversation with emotional control and clarity is what separates a wise man from one ruled by impulse. The Stoic mindset: seek truth, not assumptions. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This simple truth reveals how often we create problems in our minds that may not even exist. Misinterpretations, personal insecurities, and unspoken words can turn a small issue into a reason to walk away. Before making a final decision, a Stoic man takes responsibility for seeking understanding. That means having a direct, honest conversation, free from blame, free from unnecessary emotion, and focused solely on the truth. Think of a skilled negotiator. He doesn't jump to conclusions or let emotions dictate his words. He listens, he observes, and he asks the right questions. A man who communicates with intention and patience can uncover the real issues rather than making irreversible choices based on assumptions. The power of one honest conversation. John was convinced his relationship with Emily was over. Lately, she had been distant, unresponsive, and uninterested. He assumed she had lost feelings for him, and frustration built up inside him. But instead of making a rash decision, he took a different approach. He sat down with her and calmly said, "I've noticed a shift between us. I don't want to make assumptions, so I need to ask, what's really going on?" At that moment, Emily broke down in tears. She hadn't lost feelings for him at all. She had been battling depression, struggling silently with emotions she didn't know how to express. His willingness to ask, listen, and understand saved their relationship. Had he walked away without that conversation, he would have never known the truth. The conversation that gives you clarity. Before deciding to leave, have one final conversation. Not out of anger, not out of desperation, but out of a commitment to truth. Keep it simple, direct, and free from blame. Lately, something feels different between us. I want to understand what's really going on. Her response will give you the clarity you need. Whether it reveals an issue you can work through or confirms that it's time to walk away, you will know with certainty that you made the right choice, not based on assumptions, but on truth. Now let's move on to the next crucial step that will help you gain even deeper perspective before making your final decision. 3. Reveal her true nature. Before you walk away, before making the decision to leave, you need to determine whether she genuinely values you or if you've been holding on to something that no longer serves you. Many men make the mistake of walking away from a woman who truly cared, while others stay too long in relationships where they are unappreciated and disrespected. The key to making the right choice lies in one simple test: observing how she reacts when she feels she might lose you. The Stoic perspective. A person's true character is revealed under pressure. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom applies perfectly to relationships. A woman's true nature isn't shown during easy moments. It's revealed when faced with the possibility of losing something valuable. If you calmly express uncertainty about the relationship and step back, her response will tell you everything. A woman who truly values you will seek to understand, communicate, and work through the problem. A woman who is indifferent, defensive, or dismissive may have already emotionally checked out. This test isn't about manipulation, it's about clarity. It separates those who respect and appreciate you from those who see you as disposable. The moment of truth. Michael had been in a relationship with Lisa for 3 years. Lately, he had noticed a shift, constant criticism, lack of appreciation, and an overall sense that he was no longer important to her. Instead of reacting emotionally, he chose to seek the truth. One evening, he calmly told her, "I feel like I'm not being valued in this relationship, and I'm considering stepping away." Lisa barely hesitated before scoffing, "If you want to leave, go ahead." That single moment told Michael everything he needed to know. There was no effort to understand, no concern, no attempt to fight for what they had built. It was clear he had been holding on to something that was already gone. And so, without anger or regret, he walked away, knowing he had made the right decision. Before you make your choice, give her the opportunity to reveal her true feelings. If she genuinely cares, she will make an effort. If she shows indifference, that's your answer. A woman who doesn't fear losing you is not a woman you should fight to keep. Now let's move to the final step, one that will ensure you walk away with your dignity intact and no regrets. Chapter 4. The one question that determines your future. Before making any life-altering decision, you must ask yourself a simple but powerful question. Will I look back on this choice with peace, or will I regret it? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." In other words, imagine yourself years from now, looking back at this moment. Will you feel confident that you made the right choice, or will you wish you had given things one last chance? Right now, emotions might be clouding your judgment. The pain, the frustration, the exhaustion, it all feels overwhelming. But emotions fade. Regret, however, lingers. That's why you need to think beyond today. Picture your life years down the road and ask yourself, if you leave, will you be relieved or full of doubt? If you stay, will you be happy or just postponing the inevitable? The man who chose his future over his past. Ethan spent years in a relationship that drained him. The love that once thrived had been replaced by constant arguments and emotional distance. But he stayed, not because he was happy, but because he feared change. He told himself that leaving would be painful, that maybe things would get better. Then one day, he asked himself a simple question. If I stay, will my future self thank me or resent me? The answer hit him like a wave. No, he would not be happy. He would be stuck in the same cycle, wasting years he could never get back. And so, for the first time, he made the decision not based on fear, but on wisdom. He walked away, not with bitterness, but with peace. Years later, he found himself in a healthy, fulfilling relationship and looked back with gratitude. That one question had saved his future. The final choice is yours now. Close your eyes and picture yourself 5 years from now. Will you be grateful you walked away, or will you wish you had fought for her? The answer is already within you. The final choice is yours now. Close your eyes and picture yourself 5 years from now. Will you be grateful you walked away, or will you wish you had fought for her? The answer is already within you. Leaving with strength and wisdom. Leaving someone you once cared for is never easy, but a Stoic man does not make choices based on temporary emotions. He makes them with discipline and foresight. Before you walk away, always remember: 1. Master your emotions, don't let them master you. 2. Communicate with clarity, not assumptions. 3. Observe her true nature. Does she truly value you? 4. Think beyond today. Will you regret this choice in the future? If you've gone through these steps and still feel walking away is the right decision, then do it. Not with resentment, not with hesitation, but with absolute certainty and self-respect. You deserve a future you won't regret. If this message resonated with you, support this channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Share your experiences. Your story might help another man find clarity. Stay disciplined, stay wise, stay stoic.